Here is a targeted list of 50 simple one-liner questions and answers on Sudha Murty, specifically tailored for the Punjab Master Cadre English exam. Biography and core background. 1. Who is Sudha Murty? An Indian educator, author, philanthropist, and the former chairperson of the Infosys Foundation. 2. Which global IT giant did she co-found along with her husband? Infosys. 3. Who is Sudha Murty's husband? N.R. Narayana Murthy. 4. In which language does Sudha Murty primarily write her literary works? Kannada and English. 5. Where was Sudha Murty born? Shigaon, Haveri district, Karnataka. 6. What was her maiden name before marriage? Sudha Kulkarni. 7. She was the first female engineer hired by which major Indian automotive company? Telco, Tata Engineering and Locomotive Company. 8. To whom did she write a famous postcard protesting gender bias at Telco? J.R.D. Tata. 9. Which prestigious civilian award did she receive from the Government of India in 2023? Padma Bhushan. 10. Which civilian award did she receive from the Government of India in 2006? Padma Shri. 11. To which legislative house was she nominated as a Member of Parliament, MP, in March 2024? Rajya Sabha. Major works and anthologies. 12. Which is Sudha Murty's famous collection of short stories that includes the tale of her teaching her grandmother to read? How I Taught My Grandmother to Read and Other Stories. 13. What is the name of her grandmother in the story, How I Taught My Grandmother to Read? Krishtakka. 14. Which novel by Sudha Murty deals with the theme of a village girl named Shrimati and her strained marriage due to ambition? Gently Falls the Bakula. 15. Which book features her experiences as a philanthropist and chairperson of the Infosys Foundation? Wise and Otherwise, A Salute to Life. 16. What is the central theme of her book, The Mother I Never Knew? It contains 2 novellas exploring the search for identity and a mother's love. 17. Which book by Sudha Murty highlights the historical and social evil of the Devadasi system? 3000 Stitches. Ordinary People, Extraordinary Lives. 18. Which non-fiction book explores the ironies of human nature through real-life encounters? The Old Man and His God, Money and Relationships in Backcountry India. 19. What is the title of her novel that revolves around the lives of 2 characters, Anupama and Vasant, dealing with the stigma of vitiligo? Mahashweta. 20. Which book is a sequel to Wise and Otherwise? The Day I Stopped Drinking Milk. 21. What is the title of her first television series adaptation based on her novel Mahashweta? Kaun. Children's literature. 22. What is the title of Sudha Murty's popular children's book featuring a magical wish-fulfilling object found by Ajja and Ajji? The Magic Drum and Other Favorite Stories. 23. Which series of books did she write featuring common grandparenting tales? The Grandparents' Bag of Stories and Grandma's Bag of Stories. 24. What is the title of her book that explains the mythology and stories behind Indian festivals to children? The Upside Down King, Unusual Tales about Rama and Krishna. 25. Which book tells the story of an adventurous dog heavily inspired by her own family pet? The Gopi Diaries. 26. What is the name of the dog in the Gopi Diaries? Gopi. 27. Which book features unusual tales about the Holy Trinity of Hindu mythology, Brahma, Vishnu and Shiva? The Serpent's Revenge, Unusual Tales from the Mahabharata. 28. What is the name of her children's book that revolves around a magical pot that never runs out of food? The Magic of the Lost Temple. Themes, Style and Characters. 29. What type of narrative style is Sudha Murty best known for? Simple, lucid, conversational and realistic. 30. What are the recurring themes in Sudha Murty's writings? Philanthropy, family values, simplicity, compassion, and rural Indian life. 31. In How I Taught My Grandmother to Read, which weekly Kannada magazine did the grandmother love to hear? Karmavira. 32. What was the title of the serialized novel by Triveni that the grandmother was desperate to read? Kashi Yatre. 33. What age was the grandmother when she finally learned to read the alphabet? 62 years old. 34. On which festival did the grandmother touch her young granddaughter's feet as a mark of respect to a teacher? Dasara. Vijayadashami. 35. What does the title 3000 Stitches signify? The collective efforts to rescue and rehabilitate 3000 Devadasis in Karnataka. 36. In Gently Falls the Bakula, what symbolizes the quiet, unnoticed sacrifices of the protagonist Srimati? The Bakula flowers. Important trivia for Master Cadre. 37. Sudha Murty writes her non-fiction primarily to document what? Real-life incidents, encounters with ordinary people and social issues. 38. Which award did she win from the Kannada Sahitya Parishat? Atimabe Award. 39. What is her educational background in engineering? BE in Electrical Engineering and ME in Computer Science. 40. Which premier Indian institute did she attend for her master's degree? Indian Institute of Science, IISc, Bengaluru. 41. Who translated many of her Kannada books into English? She translated many of them herself, while some were co-translated. 42. What is the name of the publishing house that publishes most of her English titles? Penguin Books India, Puffin for children's books. 43. Which character in Mahashweta suffers from the skin condition leukoderma, vitiligo? Anupama. 44. What is the name of Sudha Murty's famous daughter, who is married to UK Prime Minister Rishi Sunak? Akshata Murty. 45. Sudha Murty's stories heavily advocate for which social cause? Women empowerment and rural education. 46. What asset did Sudha Murty give her husband N.R. Narayana Murthy to help start Infosys in 1981? Her personal savings of 10,000 rupees. 47. Which book contains the essay In Sahyadri Hills, A Lesson in Humility? Wise and Otherwise. 48. What does the old man offer the author in The Old Man and His God? A simple, honest perspective on faith and content life, without materialistic greed. 49. In which century is Sudha Murty placed as an Indian English writer? Contemporary, 21st century Indian English literature. 50. What makes her books a popular choice for school curricula in India? Their strong moral framework, simple vocabulary and deep rootedness in Indian culture.